Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the resolution on the zero-rated goods, and with special emphasis, Mr. Speaker, on the sanitary towels, pads and tampons, napkins and similar articles of any materials, in addition to all the other items listed. Mr. Speaker, I felt compelled to speak to this motion, and that is in keeping with my own assessment and philosophy of this government under the Honorable Prime Minister and Cabinet colleagues. And as Minister with responsibility for gender affairs, the issue of zero-rated on sanitary napkins did not only capture the waves of the St. Lucian people, it actually manifested regionally. And after I attended a Latin America Caribbean conference, St. Lucia was applauded for this decision taken by the government of St. Lucia. And Mr. Speaker, I say this because many times we speak to gender equality, but we do not talk about gender equity. And equity is when one gender is deficient in an area, you have to provide additional support in order to bring about equality. And I recall speaking at a Latin American conference, and I shared with the audience that what was even more fascinating about this decision by the government is one where we are very much aware that the majority of political directorates, not just in St. Lucia, but regionally and globally, are dominated by men. And therefore, people would have thought it would have been a difficult decision for men sitting in the cabinet where I sat to take. And interestingly, Mr. Speaker, it was not a difficult decision for the Prime Minister and the cabinet members to take that decision to make sanitary napkins zero-rated for women and girls in St. Lucia. And when I said that, the audience rose in applause and congratulated the government of St. Lucia for taking that bold step. And it is one where some countries have been agitating for years. And I was very proud to reveal that my government has taken that bold decision. Mr. Speaker, you may not be following the same programs with everybody, but somebody drew to my attention that there is a particular show, and sometimes I call it Sunday Lies. Some say Sunday Live, but I see it as Sunday Lies. So people choose a little section where they just reveal a whole set of lies. And I saw where an aspiring politician indicated that the government had not reduced VAT on sanitary napkins. And I just indicated, Mr. Speaker, that St. Lucia was applauded regionally and globally for taking that decision. And that's about over a year ago. So when people will listen to these programs and they are not corrected, they will go there and believe that. And it is unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that we must continue to educate our people so that they know the truth. And they have to start tuning to Sunday truth and leave out the Sunday lies. Mr. Speaker, we have to understand that this policy is one that resonated with women in St. Lucia, the one on the sanitary napkins. It resonated with our young women, and I applaud the Prime Minister and my cabinet colleagues for having the courage to take that bold decision. And we spoke of period poverty, and that decision was ridiculed by members of the opposition, not knowing that this is a regional and international issue. Apparently, that was the first time they were hearing that term and thought it was something new that came from nowhere. And therefore, they were ridiculed in a sense that they should have known that this is something that regionally and internationally they have been agitating for what we call period poverty. Because we spoke of many young girls who missed school. They lost a lot of instructional time when they are going through the period, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, if they cannot afford the sanitary napkins, they prefer to stay home rather than going to school and not feeling comfortable. The government has taken a decision, Mr. Speaker, to subsidize that product so that the children can get this product to go to school and feel safe. That is what you call gender equity, because that one is supporting the women who go through these challenges. It's not everybody that goes through it, it's only women. And therefore the government saw it necessary to help those who did not have that kind of support. Mr. Speaker, I see this policy is very much in keeping with the general policy of this government, Mr. Speaker. And I speak to the social programs. The social programs that actually touch the lives of people. Many times people speak of infrastructure, and they talk of roads, and they talk of buildings, and heavy things that everybody can see. But those little things that touch people's lives makes a big difference, Mr. Speaker. And I heard another person on the opposite side on a platform in Babono and spoke about how he is not giving hands out. Well, I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, that when my constituents come to speak to me in the Babono constituency and they tell you the challenges that they face, you have to start with the smallest item you can get to help these people. And sometimes they are so grateful for the support. So those who are very vulnerable, they need greater support, you have to take them from where they are, Mr. Speaker. And the social programs of this government has actually helped bridge the gap between the super rich and the extreme poor. And that is how you bring about better economic and social equality in the society, where this government is focusing on helping those who are way behind. And therefore, these social programs have been targeting health. These social programs have been targeting education. These social programs target employment so that these people can get some level of income to take care of their families. The government targets single mothers who need that income. Mr. Speaker, we are in the month of August and school will soon reopen, and the government has put in the education assistance program. There are many initiatives this government is taking to ensure that our children have access to quality education in this country. Mr. Speaker, when we look at the 70 items that are zero rated, If you do the mathematics, Mr. Speaker, when you will get a little time, add the difference between the existing or the previous prices and what it is now, and you will see the tremendous savings that people are going to make. And it is one, Mr. Speaker, that even in my constituency, when I explain to the constituents the contribution of this government to them, and what you do, you take every dollar and you say, if we have to give each person $1, how much money the government will have to get. Because some people only see it in relation to themselves. But when you compare with the wider population, you realize that this is a huge investment. And the calculators do not lie, they give you the correct figures. Every time you give a constituent $1, just multiply it by the number of electorates. Because it's not about those who support you, it's about the people in the constituency. And if you have to give each person $1, you would see the amount of money that you have to get to help these people. And then you can move to $10, and you can move to $100, and you can move to $1,000, and you will see how the millions start kicking in. Mr. Speaker, I applaud the Prime Minister, the Cabinet Ministers for remaining focused, remaining on target to help the vulnerable people in St. Lucia, to help the most in need. And that is why when you do targeted support, that is the only way you can bridge the gap between those who have too much and those who have none. And with this motion on the floor, Mr. Speaker, that is a very, very good policy. And we have remained focused on ensuring that our people get the support where they need most. There is a gentleman who visited St. Lucia about a week or so ago. I will not name the island. And when he went back home, he called me and he told me he went to the supermarkets in St. Lucia. And when he saw the prices of goods in the supermarket, he told me he can live in St. Lucia comfortably. And I know he was already experiencing the changes in the prices in the supermarket. There is another individual who told me they went to the supermarket, and when the cashier was checking the goods, even the cashier was surprised to see the reduction in the prices of some of the goods on the shelf. So I know, Mr. Speaker, that as we move forward, we are making a difference in the lives of the people of St. Lucia. And they can feel the difference because they are the ones who go to the supermarket. And Mr. Speaker, I applaud the Prime Minister and the Cabinet members even further, where this zero-rated items came in the month of August. And I recall I said that in this house, that this is the most challenging month for parents. The children are at home and they eat more than when they are in school. When they are in school from 9 to 3, they are busy in the classroom, they are doing their work, and they only go and eat when there is break time and lunch time. But when they are at home, every 10 minutes is break time and lunch time, and they will keep that refrigerator busy. So you find that parents have to spend a lot more money to keep these children home than when they are in school. And many parents right now are praying for school to reopen. So, Mr. Speaker, with the reduction in prices for goods, the parents can buy a little more so that they can feed the children while they are at home. And when school reopens, they will be able to buy the food items to send their children to school. And Mr. Speaker, I have no choice but to support this motion on the floor and commend the member for Castries East and Prime Minister of St. Lucia for having the courage and the determination to ensure that we put the people first and we target those who are most in need. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.